What's up, guys? It was a rough week 3, and it's raining in Chicago, but I'm not sad because the Titans film is finally up and not broken on NFL Pro. I finally got to dig in, make a video, and come away with a few takeaways. One, the theme of this video is going to be if you give Will Levis time, he will give you a dime, because he was accurate on about 90% of the passes he threw in this game, and yes, one of the inaccurate passes was a pick six, and it was gross, and we will get into it. But when he was given time, he found the right reads, he made the right throws, he's got arm talent for days, and the accuracy that people used to knock him for in college, turns out it's actually a strength, or at least not a weakness. Two, I really paid a lot of attention to the offensive line because the Titans gave up 9 sacks in this game, I want to say, and I thought one of them, maybe 2, were Will Levis's fault, but the rest, no chance. And that's odd because people online have been talking about how JC Latham, the left tackle's played a lot better lately. And he's been better, but a large reason's because they've been giving him help. And when you're giving the left tackle help, you can't give the right tackle help. And the right tackle, whether it's Jalen Duncan or Nick Petit-Friere, really needs that help. It was to the point where on several plays, the Titans had 8 blockers and 2 receivers. That's not going to work because there's nowhere to throw the ball when you're double teaming every rusher. So 3 is just that. The play calling needs to figure out a way to handle this offensive line. My personal suggestion, take your best offensive lineman that's not starting. I don't know if it's Jalen Duncan. I don't know if it's maybe your third guard. I don't know. I don't care. It's not my job. And put him on the offensive line full time. 6 offensive linemen all the time because your right tackle isn't enough. If you have a tight end that's a better blocker than your 6th best offensive lineman, fine. But you need 6 blockers because 5 is not getting it done. And you need to figure it out by Monday because the Miami Dolphins are coming to town. And if you go 0-4 to Tyler Huntley or Tim Boyle, listen, I don't think it's the right move, but somebody's got to go. It's probably not going to be the brand new coach. And I don't want to see the Titans waste a season on Mason Rudolph. So, without further ado, enough yapping. To the film. So, the theme of this game is going to be arm talent. And when things are easy and clean, Will Levis is special. Now, this is a really nice play design. Little play action left with a corner by the tight end and a clear out by the receiver to the strong side. Well done. It worked perfectly. Right, the clear out draws these 2 defenders out of the zone. And the corner fills that void perfectly. It's a solid throw. It's not very difficult for Will Levis to see or read, but he's accurate. He can hit anywhere on the field with pretty good zip. Nice. If you do that every play, you got a lot of touchdowns. Here, routine throw, simple flat. Here, immediately off the snap, it is max protection. They've got 7 blockers, right? They know they can't protect. They sprint right? It's not quite a rollout. Levis doesn't have to roll. He just sprints to his right, moves the pocket. Here, he's got a receiver for a 5-yard gain. Just hit him. Honestly, while watching the broadcast angle, I didn't see how wide open this receiver was. I thought this was a throwaway because it's so inaccurate. One really significant weakness of Will Levis's is he can't throw on the run. It's just not in his tool bag. I mean, the man just can't alter his platform that well, I guess. On a play like that, too, where he's got so much time, you'd love to see him slow down and just hit the receiver. But when Will Levis has his feet set and he's protected, and he's not protected that well, I mean, the right guard is getting blown past. Radens didn't have another good game. But Will Levis is very okay with taking a hit to make a play. He finds Tyler Boyd in the middle on this slant. I mean, that's a really tight window to fit that ball into. He's got maybe 5 yards before the defender decapitates his receiver. And Levis hits it perfectly. Sits the receiver down, plenty of zip so that there's a yak opportunity. That's another solid throw. Right? It's not the most complicated read. Levis looks at one, right? He looks at this curl by Hopkins, I believe that is. And if it's not there, he's immediately going to then look at the post. 1-2. Oh, shit, it wasn't Hopkins. It was Ridley. Now that they both have braids, it's difficult for me to tell without seeing their numbers, but we'll get there. Again, receiver 1, receiver 2. Holds the eyes of the linebacker a little bit. Nothing to write home about, but it's good. All right, this play, you see Levis protected well, right? Again, 6-man protection. They're giving JC Latham help. You'll see that throughout the game. They are giving tackles a lot of help with chips. And the reason that JC Latham hasn't been exposed since week 1 is lots of chips and double teams. Here, Levis has plenty of time. You see him go through his reads, right? You see him look 1-2. So originally, he wants this corner. Or I keep on messing this up. It's early. Bear with me. So it's going to end up being a bit of a Yankee. What does that mean? It means we've got effectively posts on the outside. On the inside, we've got a whip route by, I have no idea who that is, the slot. And then the inside slot, Tyler Boyd is just going to run a little in, kind of a drag, kind of a slant. Basically, his job is to sit down over the middle of the field and cross. You're going to see when this play starts, Levis is looking towards the top of the screen. He wants to see if he has that post to Hopkins. I'm praying it's Hopkins. If I keep on getting these guys confused, I'm going to be embarrassed. But obviously, it's double covered. It's almost triple covered. 85, Chigakankwo was the man running the whip route. It is open, but Levis is working from left to right. You don't want to bounce around. You want to read just like you would words on a page. So when he sees that little in-sit, drag route. Honestly, he ran it a little bit like a whip. It's from Boyd right over the middle. Perfect. But throws a little high, and it's a little not caught. Here from the tight copy, you can see Levis go through his reads. 1-2, realizes he's got an opening. Ball's high and behind. Don't like the placement at all. Now, Tyler Boyd should probably catch it anyway. Right? But the placement's really bad. I guess Levis might have been trying to sit him down, but there's no reason to sit him down because if you lead Boyd, he honestly could score a touchdown. It's a bad throw, despite looking like a routine throw on the broadcast copy. Little routine curl, that's nice, and they'll punch it in on the next play. This is going to be the play that defines Will Levis's week 3, regardless of whether or not that's fair. I don't love the play call. Jair Alexander does a good job, but Will Levis does himself no favors. Let's diagram it real quick. So it's going to be just curls. It's curls right across the board, kind of like a Hank. On first down, everybody's running 5 yards and turning around. Now, against off coverage, against prevent defense, I guess this might be a decent play. On first down, against what is clearly a condensed zone defense, I don't love it. I've diagrammed the defense here as well. You're going to have single high and then 29, that box safety. He technically should be, dropping deep into a hole area, but players guard players, not grass. So when he realizes the play is just all curls to the 5 yards downfield, he's going to step up and support. Now, because everything is so condensed, Levis is going to need to know the Packers are expecting a short throw. And if you're going to throw short, it's got to be quick. Frankly, Levis's first read was wrong. Like, he shouldn't be looking to the bottom of the screen here. If he looked for a second, he would see one of the quickest corners in the entire NFL right here is already broken down and ready to jump on a pass. Additionally, he might see that the tight end's curl right over the middle is the easiest throw available, and it's right there. That being said, it's a 5-yard curl. If he waits, if he pulls this ball down right here, he basically has no option on this play other than run. Granted, run is preferable to pick six, and that's how this play ends. He telegraphs it. He's looking at his receiver the entire time. He never looks away. Alexander reads this immediately. If you're going to throw that curl, you at least have to look it off to lull the corner into sleep. It's a bad pick, and it's a combination of a really dumb play call and a really, really bad pre-snap read by Levis. Again, in this game, his accuracy was great, his arm talent was great, but his decision-making left a lot to be desired. And yeah, it's like his 10th start. But it is his 10th start, and he's like 24 years old. I'd like to see a little bit more already. No matter, though, every quarterback throws at least one pickable a week, right? That's pretty normal. It's rare that you don't have any turnover-worthy plays. So let's see how he bounces back. Here's a routine throw with a little pocket slide. Right, a big topic this week has been actually JC Latham is really good. Well, you see here how they keep a tight end to help him contain. It turns JC Latham into a guard. He doesn't have to play in space, right? He could just kind of mug a guy and get away with it because there's a tight end blocking and a running back chip. Notice that they left Nicholas Petit-Friere, the terrible right tackle, on an island so that they could give JC Latham not one, but two assistants in blocking. Levis does a nice job to slide and throw the ball knowing he might get hit. Routine throw plus pocket movement. More help for JC Latham. Titans fans get really, really upset if you insinuate that JC Latham isn't already special. But here he is again getting walked back into the quarterback. Levis does a really good job to run. See 91 right there? He has walked JC Latham into Will Levis's butt. Like, Will Levis has to bail because JC Latham gets pushed back like a pylon. If Will Levis was allowed to step up, you look at where he is looking. He understands that he has the middle of the field. He's trying to hit Boyd on this curl, but he doesn't have enough time to wind up and throw that strike 12, 13 yards without getting hit. So that's a really good job of recognizing, this pocket's too muddy. I got to be careful with the ball. That's actually Will Levis, A, avoiding a sack, and B, avoiding a fumble by having really good pocket presence. Now, he doesn't always have really good pocket presence, but on that play, he did. And right here, JC Latham fails again. They're trying to pass off a switch. You would like if he recognized it quicker. But notice, Skoronski's already into the right end, right? So by the time they do this twist, 90 is coming free. Now, Latham has two options. He can try to use his speed and kick over into the gap right there and try to still match 90, or he can stab that defensive end with his hand. You could punch him and let Skoronski free to go block 90. Either way, he does neither, and Will Levis gets the ball out quick on the curl, plus pocket movement from Levis, throwing while being run through. Look at this. There's bodies everywhere. He's got maybe a yard of space. And he's throwing a normal average pass. It's a routine throw, but Latham messing up, Levis doing well. Latham on an island, runs the man around, good job. This stinks because Latham's man actually gets the sack, but Latham did a good job on this play. Right? He makes his... I think that's Lucas Van Ness. He makes him run the corner. And, maybe he gets a little bit beaten. Like, Van Ness gets a little tighter than you would like to see. But as long as Will Levis doesn't drop back too far, as long as he doesn't do like a 2018 Mahomes, you're good. That said, Nicholas Petit-Friere gets beaten so bad that Levis has to step up. Now, at this point, yeah, maybe if he's Patrick Mahomes, he throws the ball with his legs facing different directions. But right here, he is bailing for his life. It's very hard to throw a curl when you are running away from the curl. And he gets a cleanup sacked by Van Ness. This is, This is a full offensive line failure, right? Like, the right tackle gets beaten like a drum, and the left tackle kind of wins. He wins enough. Levis should be trying to get the ball out right here, but he's already pulling it down because he's afraid of Rashawn Gary, who is eating Nicholas Petit-Friere alive like the tasty French morsel that Petit-Friere sounds like. I don't know what Friere means. I don't speak French, but sounds good. That is a no-fault sack. That is not Levis's fault. It's also not JC Latham's fault. It is Nicholas Petit-Friere's fault. Yuck. This is really where Petit-Friere starts to implode because they can't even get a bootleg off without one offensive lineman on the ground, 3 standing facing opposite direction of their, assignment. Pollard did a good job chipping, and I think that's Radin's just running for his life to try to get in the way of somebody. Levis does a good job pocket movement and throws on the run. Solid. Well, no, routine. Solid job. Decent play. Routine. You notice lots of heavy formations, lots of tight ends helping, lots of running backs chipping. This is why. Will Levis literally doesn't get out of his play action fake before he is sacked. All right. Here's the top of his drop. He gets the hitch because you always get one hitch at the top of your drop. Where's the ball supposed to go? Well, nowhere just yet, but if you wait a second, you're going to have the middle of the field open. And there's the middle of the field for you, and Will Levis is already being tackled. Sure, he could have thrown the ball to the running back immediately, but typically you assume you're going to be able to have more than a hitch before you get sacked. That is certainly not Levis's fault. No fault sack. Let's see who got beaten. JC Latham got beaten pretty damn quickly, and Peter Skoronski gets beaten even quicker. Like, just shoved directly back into the quarterback. The left side is 2 really high draft picks and dudes who both were like all-American tackle caliber players in college. It's really frustrating to see that they can't accomplish very much, even with a great offensive line coach. I mean, look at this right side of the line go. Just accomplishing nothing. Oh, shit, that's the center and the right guard. A little bit of a strange blocking scheme, I guess. But Sko is so laid out there. Screen's blown up. Routine throw, but the offensive line is just limiting everything they do. And they can't really run the ball because they're not getting great push there either. Here, the offensive line actually holds up. Late release by the running back. Levis rolls left and makes a nice little throw while moving. Plus pocket movement, routine throw. That's a play extension. Rollout, 4th down, hate the play call. This is after Callahan's already called a timeout and gotten the timeout called on him, so he burnt his best play, which was going to be a screen to Okonkwo, and I didn't love either. I don't know what 83 did there. What is Tyler Boyd doing? Like, verbal meme, that scene from Office Space where the manager guy says, like, what exactly is it that you think you do here? What exactly is 83 doing here? I'll circle him for you so you don't miss him. I did a terrible job circling him for you. Hope you didn't miss him. Kind of runs in like he's going to run a slant. Then he doesn't. And then he realizes, I should probably block. And then he kind of doesn't. So now there's 2 free rushers on Levis. He's already committed. There's a running back who could take the ball, but Levis is holding the ball down like he's a running back. And he shouldn't be. A great quarterback would be holding it like a thrower so he can throw. But alas, Levis thinks that he's Superman. He's not quite. 4th down failure. No, the blocking's not good. No, the play design's not good. Levis's decision wasn't good either, right? This is a negative run. There are things he could have done here besides try to truck 2 linebackers, and he didn't. Bad play. Negative run. Granted, wasn't left a ton of options, and that play basically swung the game. After this, it's all over but the crying. Little screen. Right? Look at this. Fresh pocket. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people blocking. Levis makes a nice throw. Like, all you need to do is give the man time, and that's a stripe. Sure, there's a lot of room there. It's only a solid throw, but the velocity's crazy. The accuracy is right. I mean, it's not the hardest read, but when you've only got 2 receivers going out into space, fine. Notice they have 2 tight ends in to help the right tackle because they understand, Latham might not be the best, but this right side is not good. I don't want to say Latham got beaten, but, Van Ness just slips here. Otherwise, he's got Latham's body weight completely turned. I think that's probably a win for Van Ness. And then Van Ness gets up and beats him to the inside. Like, Levis got the ball out just in time. Solid throw. Not the greatest showing from the offensive line despite a 7-man protection. We live to fight another day. It's a first down. That's definitely a false start by Petit-Friere. I guess it doesn't get called. Notice that once again there is a running back helping Latham on the chip. Latham does not have to pass off. He can play like a guard. And because there is time, Levis throws a dime. That should be the new catchphrase. Maybe that'll even be the name of the video. Give Levis time, he'll give you a dime. Solid throw, 12 yards downfield, hits his receiver in the belly. That's not enough, apparently. Treylon Burks. Why are you in the NFL? Because you told people you were tall and fast with gigantic hands and then showed up to the combine at 6'1", running a 4.640 and having average-sized hands. How do you not catch that, buddy? Yeah, ball could have been a little higher. Will Levis is also trying not to get hit. Step up, step back, step up again. He's got no feet under him. The ball is right. Got to catch it. It's a solid throw, plus pocket movement. Bad job, Treylon Burks. This is more what I want to see from JC Latham going forward. Just really quickly, see how he just gets depth? JC Latham's a strong enough guy. I don't think he's got the elite staying power that, he was supposed to have in the draft, but he's a strong guy. If he just gets back quickly, he sets himself up to not get beaten by those agility moves, and he can just be strong, right? Because they got to come through you at some point. I like that from him. There's a routine throw, and I think this is basically how JC Latham becomes a good tackle. Get back fast, stone him. And here, Levis, nice ball, dude. 15 yards, lots of velocity, understands leverage, solid throw, touchdown. Then we got one or two more drives before this game gets out of hand. That touchdown really helped the Titans crawl back into it for a second. Look at that throw. Keep Levis clean, offense looking mean. How many blockers do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which means we have 3 receivers. Maybe that's why Will Levis holds onto the ball sometimes, because JC Latham has 2 helpers, a tight end and a running back. Petit-Friere is on an island again. Don't love it still. Like, if you know you have a bad backup starting for you, give him help. Like, seriously, put a 6th offensive lineman in on most plays to make Petit-Friere a second right guard. That's what the Browns used to do when they had no offensive tackles in 2019. I think Bill Callahan knows how to do it because he did it in 2019. Let's see it, buddy. Steps up. Tons of time. Ball's let go at the 25. Ball's caught at the 50. 25 yards in the air. 20 yards downfield. Do that every time, man. That's good stuff. Great throw. Give Levis time. He gives you a dime. Another solid throw. Yeah, dude's open. Levis gets out of his play action, right? He looks up. He sees his guy. He's got the arm. The processing will come in time. The playmaking may never come. But you know one thing. Will Levis can stripe the hell out of that ball. So just give him time. I really think that we're talking about a guy who, if he had a great offensive line that provided him ample time to figure things out, would be top of the league. Like, really adored. Not dissimilar from Jalen Hurts as a processor. Much better arm. Here, did somebody forget about the left end? Because that looks painful. Yes, Will Levis fumbles. Tell me what he's supposed to do. Now, screenshot bros are going to say, oh, hit the drag. Hit the receiver open in between those linebackers. How's he going to do that when there's a guy in his chest? There is a 300-pound man headbutting him in the chest. Yes, it's a fumble. I don't blame him for that one. That's not like the fumble week 1 where he's being stupid. That's a fumble because a bigger man is killing you. And it certainly isn't a bad sack, right? Here's the top of his drop. Do you see the right tackle in the splits? Do you see the right guard looking at the right tackle like, oh my God, how did that happen to you? I mean, that's bad. That's really bad. No fault sack yet again. Now this game's out of hand. Everything else we'll see. Garbage time, I'm kind of going to fly through. Like, Will Levis wants it all. There's nothing to be had. He takes the gimme routine. Quick hitter routine. Hey, look, Treylon Burks did a thing. It only took garbage time for him to come out of his shell and break a tackle. And then here, the reason I don't have this interception counted in my chart, this is garbage time, this is fuck it ball. And Will Levis throws a fuck it ball. I mean, it's a muddy pocket. It's double coverage. He's impatient. He wants it all. That's not the pick. That's just the bad ball. The interception comes later on almost exactly the same play. I guess Will Levis took, 9 sacks? What do you want him to do? I don't know. There's really not a lot to do. You're just screwed, man. And again, JC Latham, superstar, getting help. For some reason, Jalen Duncan now, the new right tackle, because Petit-Friere has been benched, not helping. Huh. Jalen Duncan almost isn't here on this play. Look at the right tackle. Like, Latham doesn't have time to get beaten because Jalen Duncan doesn't exist. He's a ghost. He's a projection of what a right tackle would look like using hologram technology. He's Princess Leia saying, Will Levis, you are our only hope. Like, maybe here in this absurd garbage time, Levis could have not taken the sack, but this is an 8-man protection. There are 2 receivers running routes. There are 6 defensive backs around 2 receivers. This play was doomed from the start. That's not Levis's fault. Sure, he could have managed the pocket better. To what end? This game is over, so I'm not grading these very harshly, but come on. Grading this game, I have 2 sacks that are Will Levis's fault. Honestly, I think that's harsh. I think it should really only be 1. Give Levis time and he gives you a dime. Give Levis no time, you take what you can get. Just undeniably useless. If I'm the Titans, I'm on the phone with Charles Leno or something right now because I'm legitimately worried about Will Levis's health. Like, yes, he does throw a pick here. Oh no. It's not on the chart because, sure, clean pocket. You're down 3 scores. You're down 3 touchdowns. Sure, you could check it down. Zippity doo-dah. It's 3rd down. You need a big gain. He throws it up. Yes, it's into double coverage. He knew that too, but it's his only deep route, and he's saying, fuck it, dude. It's DeAndre Hopkins. Maybe he makes something happen. If I don't get a huge gain here, game's over anyway. I don't blame Levis for this whatsoever. In fact, I don't even grade it. This isn't Levis making a bad decision. It's not Levis having bad accuracy. It's him saying, yeah, there's like a 2% chance this ball gets completed. That's the only chance we have to win, though. Sometimes you got to hit a big parlay to break even, and most times big parlays don't hit. So if you've made it to the end of the video, you've seen a few things. 1, yes, Will Levis's interception, pick 6 even, was bad. It was really bad processing. It was so late. It made no sense. It was like a total brain fart. It's like he just lobotomized himself for a split second and then looked up and was throwing a touchdown to the wrong team. But it's 1 play, and he was accurate on the other 88.5% of attempted passes, including 72.73% accuracy plus, which is where I just take out all the screens and easy passes. The average accuracy plus metric this year has been 39%, and he hit 73 in one game. That's awesome. Like, that's legitimately excellent arm talent. It's great accuracy. And if you were to have told the Titans on draft night 2 years ago, Will Levis secretly actually has awesome accuracy, like it's really good NFL accuracy, they would have taken him in the first round instead of Skoronski. Promise. Because that was the one knock people had on him. And turns out, kind of bunk. Now, his processing could speed up, and it needs to. He should stop making dumb mistakes. Yeah. But everybody makes at least one dumb mistake per game. Even Patrick Mahomes threw 3 pickable balls this week. Happens all the time. Might have been 2. Don't recall. Have to check the charts. Regardless, I'm not holding Will Levis's second interception against him. In fact, I'm not grading any of that fourth quarter because the game was over. I do have Levis as charted with 1 sack that was his fault and 5 that weren't. Yikes. I gave him a B minus for the game, and I could see a B. I mean, he had more positive plays than negative. He was really accurate downfield. He was really accurate overall, and he avoided so many sacks. Whether it was standing tall in the pocket, getting the ball out quick, or even moving. Like, he had the one really bad miss while running early in the game, but after that, he actually settled in and had some of his better throws on the run. Additionally, I think we saw why JC Latham is grading out better per PFF. Lots of double teams, right? Keeping a tight end in to help him, having a running back chip, sometimes both. But also why that can't keep happening. Because the right tackle is so bad, you need to give him that help. Just to function. Not to be good in protection, but just to function. And when Latham has to go back to playing on an island, I think he will struggle a little bit more. I think he's actually an average offensive tackle already. I don't think he's a problem. But if he's going to get to that next level, that good left tackle level, it's going to take some time. And that's totally fine. The guy's young. He's strong. He could get in better shape. It would really help his game. Personally, I think that the prescription for fixing this Tennessee offense is 6 offensive linemen every snap, almost every snap. Whoever you want to start at right tackle, it doesn't really matter. It can't be Jalen Duncan, but it doesn't really matter. Take your 6 best offensive linemen, whether it's a guard, a center, a tackle, hell, if it's a blocking tight end, make your 6th best blocker your second right tackle, and then just double team every time. Yes, you only get 4 receivers now, but at least Levis will be able to stand in the pocket because when you give Levis time, he gives you a dime. I really like saying that. It's very fun for me. Yeah. If you disagree with my prognosis, if you think that actually the offensive line's great, it doesn't need to be fixed at all, nothing needs to change, see about a straitjacket. I heard they have hot new styles for the latest fall fashions, and they come in pumpkin spice. If you think that Levis's 1 interceptable ball and 3 inaccurate passes over the course of 29 attempts means that he couldn't have had a good game, I don't know, man. If one mistake is going to change a whole game for you, you might as well turn it off after the first interception. Like, if Jair Alexander had dropped that ball, as so many interceptions are often dropped, nobody is talking bad about Levis at all. Like, the Titans still probably lose because they couldn't stop the Packers' offense, but people are probably really excited about how well Levis played anyway. And if DeAndre Hopkins had tackled Jair Alexander, which was totally viable, totally could have done it, none of you are talking about, oh, well, it was a pick 6. Like, well, Levis did the exact same thing. Pick 6 has, in this particular case, it was a bad decision that led to the pick 6, but it usually has about as much to do with the offensive skill players as it does the quarterback. Jair Alexander made a great play. Levis made a bad play. You combine those two, touchdown Packers. It's 1 play. There's 28 more. It's going to be okay. Yeah, and then Will Levis's fumble. Yeah, he fumbled. I don't expect many quarterbacks to hold on to that ball most of the time. Things happen. That wasn't like a Levis has bad ball security fumble. It wasn't a Levis making a stupid decision fumble. It was a, oh, yeah, no, that free rusher really got him. Yeah, okay. Yeah, overall, I gave him 4. I changed the name of slugging. I named it PGP, play grade points, because I grade every play and I give every play point values, and you add them up and you get PGP. I gave him 4 PGP, which is pretty standard for a B. He had more positive plays than negative. What else do you guys want to see? That's all I got for you today. In the meantime, I'll be working on a Jaden Daniels video because that dude balled out on Monday Night Football, and I gotta explain why and figure out if maybe I was wrong on his eval. So until that gets published, I'll be grinding film. Asta.